Tough loss yesterday. I think I'm gonna start streaming the game so y'all get my live reaction. Cause I was watching it, I was like, man, I'm gonna get back to this tomorrow. I know you can't have the game plan. I think I'm just gonna put up like what's the play-by-play log with the stats. We all watch the game, I guess, so you gotta give live reactions instead of like waiting until the next day. But I probably would if they would have won. Cause I thought they were gonna win until like I get to what I'm getting to. Then I probably would have got to it yesterday. But yeah, I think I'll just stream when it's game day and then drop a following vid the next day. I think that's what I'll start doing. But bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. Yesterday, Coach White, I understand her thought process with this play. But it says Dream 91, Fever 90. Fever, who shot 48%, had their chances late but failed to capitalize. Inconsistent defense and 10 missed free throws were damning. Kayla Clark made history yesterday. She had 27, 5, and 11, 24 apiece for Mitchell and Boston. They both were great. And then this is the final sequence. So this is the play everyone been talking about. And I'm not gonna lie, man, Stephanie White kind of pulled a Christie size on this shit. Like, this was just a terrible play. Natasha Howard couldn't hit a fucking free throw yesterday. She didn't have a good game, in my opinion. You just can't go to her in this type of situation. I'd much rather you get the ball to Aaliyah Boston. And then I know why she made Caitlin take the ball out, because she's their best passer. In this type of game, when she's having a game, like I told y'all, some games she's gonna get 27, 30, 40. You got to get her the ball, bro. You got to figure out a way to get her the ball, or you got to keep her within this play so the defense could put all their attention on her, and then maybe set up a play for Leah Boston or something. You get what I'm saying? But I would rather Lexi Hall take the ball out. But she fucked this play up. I'm not gonna lie. She's gonna make this girl come off this screen here. Watch this. Right, and then after she comes off this screen, Kelsey is gonna set a screen right here. Right. And then she's going to come up here, and Natasha Howard's then going to get a look. You're going to see. Watch. She's going to throw it right over the top. She can't even, the defender, since her back is towards the ball, she got a higher chance of getting it. Decent, but if she's not having a good game, you just can't do that, bro. And if you would have kept Caitlin in, then the defense would have been like, okay, we know the ball's going to Caitlin. That probably would have set up a shot for like Aaliyah Boston, because they're like, oh, it's going to Caitlin. You probably should have ran this for Aaliyah Boston. I ain't gonna lie. Look, she gets the post up, gets her shit blocked. The shit goes all the way over here. And then she throws up some dumb shit in the corner. And I knew, as soon as she shot this shit, I knew she was gonna miss it. So, yeah. And then they had this layup. So, yeah, so that's what it was.
As a unit, and good teams take advantage of that. Atlanta was really good at getting downhill. They knocked down some tough shots, but when you dig yourself a hole, it makes it really difficult to use all your energy to come back. Our ability to stay together. Our bench was really engaged in every timeout and in every huddle. We were all engaged, and yes, that's a moral victory, so to speak, I suppose. But at the same time, you got to be ready to go every game in this league. Teams are too good. It's a long season. We're going to continue to grow. We still got to figure out how to get all 5 players on the floor on the same page on both ends of the floor. We're pretty disjointed sometimes offensively, just as much as we are defensively. And anytime you give up 30-point quarters and put somebody to the line 32 times, it's going to make it really, really tough to win. 4 teams to win 3 challenges in the first half. I don't know that I've ever seen that either.
That's actually true, though. Yeah, that's actually a fact. That's facts. She got a point.
But at the same time, for us, it started with our energy and on the defensive end of the floor. We were flat to start. We dug ourselves a hole. We didn't take care of the ball. We didn't handle their physicality. That's going to be the MO against us all year long. Teams are going to be physical. They're gonna push us. They're gonna shove us. They're gonna hold us. They're gonna do whatever they're allowed to get away with, and we have to figure out how to use that physicality against them. That's how I play us, right? We have to figure out how to use that physicality against them and get a little bit better in those areas. I thought AB was outstanding. She battled, for what, 36, almost 37 minutes. And BG and Bree Jones are 2 of the best bigs in our league. I thought she did an outstanding job, and we got to learn and grow from it.
I think with Brittany Griner, bro, there's not really, I'm not gonna lie, you can't really defend that. They didn't have an answer for her, but I don't know if any team has an answer for Brittany Griner, you know? So, but that's something they got to figure out, especially as the season goes along, because, you know, they're going to play dominant bigs like that. If you can't handle Brittany Griner, what the fuck you going to do with Asia Wilson? What you going to do with Asia Wilson? Like, that's a real question. I don't know. I know Natasha had her. I know there was a couple possessions. I think AB might have been on to Brittany, but if you letting Brittany get off like that, like, you know what Asia Wilson gonna do to them? You know what, these other bigs are gonna do? So you gotta figure that shit out quick. So that's something they gotta figure out.
Yeah, I mean, initially we're trying to get the ball to AB, but she was being chucked.
So the play was for AB. Okay.
Initially we're trying to get the ball to
Okay, so the play was for AB. Oh, okay, I see what happened. Okay, so the second option was for Natasha Howard. But it still was a bad play, because how are you gonna, if you set a screen like this, not gonna really get too much in a screenplay like this. But if she would have let Lexi Hall take the ball out, and then you have Caitlin Clark running, like, you get what I'm saying? I guarantee the focus would have been like, okay, we gotta make sure CC doesn't get the ball. Then that would have opened up Aaliyah Boston. But since you got, no offense to like Kelsey Mitchell or Lexi or anybody like that, but if the person who's really killing them is taking the ball out, it makes it a little easier for the defense. You know what I mean? So I understand that CC's probably the only one that could have made this pass like perfect for either player. So, but it still wasn't a good play. I just think this was a bad play.
She had a good look. She had two good looks, and that's really all you can ask for in that situation. Kelsey and AB and Caitlin have played together, so they have this synergy, and really with DV and with Tosh, like how we bring them into the fold, so to speak. And that's a challenge that we're looking into. We're trying to figure out, shorter stints, because it was an up and down game, right? And I felt like Kels, Caitlin, and Lexi were giving us really good stuff, on both ends of the floor. And it's tough when you feel like you're starting to get some momentum to sub. I probably should have subbed a little bit more in that second half. But like the group that was out there.
I don't know if Bonner can last on his team. I'm not gonna lie. And when I say that, I mean the pace they're playing, because they play fast. For a guy watching, you'll be like, it's not that fast. But for a women's pace of like fast, they play pretty fast. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Bonner can keep up. I think what they're missing, Sophie's like the one that she probably would have given better minutes, if that makes sense. So I think they're missing someone like Sophie who can keep up, when they start making those rotations. I wonder if they throw Sophie in the starting lineup at some point. That's something I could see happening, over the course of the year.
It's tough. I thought we had a bad start to the game. I thought we had a bad start to the second half. It felt a little flat as a group out there on the floor. So, we can't put ourselves in those types of positions. I mean, I thought Atlanta played well. I thought they used their two bigs well. I thought we didn't really try to attack them in the half court. If they're going to play two bigs, we have to find ways to exploit that a little bit more. But you gotta give them credit, but I just felt like just some bad starts. I mean, like I said, second and fourth quarter, 13 and 15 points. First and third, 31-32. So that's telling you something right there. So go back and watch the film, and that's the great thing about this league is you have a day and you play again. So not to get too worked up about a lot of positives, but also a lot of things we can really get better at. So got another shot at him at Thursday. I felt like the crowd was kind of just waiting for a moment to cheer and kind of go crazy. So I appreciate them. They really helped us there, especially in the fourth quarter. It helped us really get the lead there with a few seconds to go. So the crowd was incredible. But like I said, like it was just flat. We missed free throws. We missed layups. We didn't really execute. They were physical. And I think that was kind of why it didn't feel as smooth as we would have liked. Shot 32 free throws, a lot of free throws. Going to be difficult to win a lot of games when we foul people that much and put them at the line that much. It's tough. I made 25 out of 32. We still went to the line 26 times, missed 10. So that's the game really right there. It obviously doesn't come down to that, but it's just the little things. But I thought the fourth quarter was our defense. Our defense was great, and we were able to push in transition. You saw it was 2 quarters where we couldn't get a stop on defense. We struggled in half court. They were physical. They could set up their defense every time. They pushed us out of screens. It's just easier when you're able to load your defense. We wanted to do the same exact thing. So great for our team, a little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. You know, we have a chance to go there and play them actually, so it's even better, I guess. We can, you know, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well. So, you know, obviously we wouldn't have loved to be in the situation that we were in, but honestly, I give my team a lot of credit, my teammates a lot of credit. We never gave up. We fought. We were right there. We found a way to get back in it. You know, when things didn't seem very good for this group, at least we stayed together and we kept fighting, and that's a positive. The challenges cannot take that long. That's it ruins the flow of the game. I get it. It's early in the year. The refs want to make the right call. We can't sit there for 2.5, 3 minutes and on an obvious hit out of bounds off of them and still not know the call. I get it. There's things to look at. There's a clock. There's where the ball can be taken out. But that's not the only reason the flow of the game was ruined, but like we're just standing there, we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And then obviously, like I said, a lot of free throws shot between both teams tonight. That makes the game more choppy when there's a lot of fouls. Excuse me. But, you know, it's tough when Coach White is put in a position to have to use both her challenges in the first half on calls that were pretty point blank, and then we're left with none there in the second half, which, you know, you can pick and choose. Maybe you save them, maybe you don't, but still, like, every single possession matters. But like I said, it doesn't come down to that. You know, no matter what, if it's a choppy game, we got to find a way to find our flow a little bit better, especially to start the game and start the second half, for sure.
Caitlin Clark continues to write her name in the record books. Loki, I got a question that I actually asked. I'm actually curious to hear some of y'all responses to this. Does this show how good she is or how trash players are compared to her? 20 points, 10 assists games, WNBA history. She's gonna shatter this shit this year, obviously. It took this girl 430 games to get 10, 20, and 10 assist games. It took CC 40 games. It took Diana 565 games to get 9. She did this in 40 games. Does this show, again, just how good she is compared to everyone else in the league, or how trash the lead is compared to her? I'm just curious. I want to hear some of y'all responses. Like, this doesn't even look like a real stat. Like, that's insane. That's actually insane. But yeah, that's what's going on there. I'm gonna play the highlights from the game. Also, I will be live streaming the next game, so I'll have the play-by-play thing up. You can watch it live if you have it. We'll just watch the game together and everything like that. But yeah. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. I'll play the highlights. And as always, it's your boy.
Fever going without Sophie Cunningham. Alicia Gray has it denied. Austin sends it back. Clark with numbers. Bounce pass Howard.
Have all those things. I think that's a combination of why they're going to have a much better defensive effort.
There's pieces. Clark inside. Hole runs into traffic. Flips it up. Dug themselves into a early hole here. Clark looking to get.
That one was crazy.
Oh, that's a deep three.
Yeah, that one was actually crazy.
Now Howard with numbers. Bounce pass ahead. Mitchell running the floor. Lays it in. Austin's been held to 4 points in the first half. Here is Clark. Launches and hits. All-star duo came over in the offseason. Clark trying to shake Howard. Clark steps back and knocks it down.
That's the kind of screen I'm talking about.
Mitchell
right there.
Back for Clark and hits a three. And Hole runs into a powerful screen from Jones. Clark. Atlanta has led for nearly the entirety of it. Fever are back within 4. Clark bouncing. Austin finishing. Clark from the mid-range can go. Difficult angle. Another second chance opportunity. Clark fire away and knocks down a three.
Amazing.
That is just that signature Caitlin Clark shot. She will launch. Oh, yes! With the rebound. Indiana down by 6 with 1:50 to go. Clark turns on the Jets. Clark lays it in.
Yeah, after that play, that's when shit started going.
There's that track screen.
Yeah.
Boston lays it in.
Yeah, they blew it. Damn. After that lay, bro, I was like, okay, they got it. They got it. They just fucked it up at the end, bro. They just fucked it up, man. Tough one.